Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be testing a bunch of new products from Hailey's Beauty and from e.l.f. These are some of the new Hailey's products that I hauled recently. I've got the new primer, mascara, concealer that looks like a tube of blood, the e.l.f. Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadows. I used 2 of them today to create this look. It is mostly a full face of Hailey's and e.l.f. cosmetics. If that sounds good to you, if you're curious to see how I created this beautiful, easy, everyday kind of eye look, for me anyways, just keep on watching. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up, give my video a like. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. I just wanted to let you guys know that this video was filmed before e.l.f. released their new brow pen. I will try it out soon, but for now, I went ahead and did my brows off camera to save some time, and I went ahead and primed my eyes with a MAC paint pot. I know in the past I had a couple little bite-sized e.l.f. palettes. I must have given them away. I just picked out these from Amazon, the Dacique, I don't know how you pronounce them, but I felt like what I could do is just create a very quick look with a couple of these mattes. And then what I do have, of course, I showed you in the last haul video, the e.l.f. little, what are these called? Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadows. I have 3 different shades, so I think what I'll do is I will use 2 of these and possibly this. This is also from e.l.f. It's just like a glitter eyeshadow. Super pretty and reflective. So I might use a little bit of that too. We'll see. I have 2 of these palettes. One of them is a little bit more warmer toned. It has a little bit of pink in it. These are like very similar to the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes, the original. This one's much more neutral and a little softer. This one's called Autumn Breeze, and this one is called Sugar Brownie. I think I'll use Sugar Brownie first. Use a couple of these warmer shades right here, and then the brown matte in this one I can use as eyeliner. Let's take first this and see how deep that is on my skin tone before we go any deeper. I want to keep this very minimal, simple, quick. So my plan was just to use maybe 1 or 2 matte shades, some eyeliner, and then those glitter topper shades. The BK Beauty 212 brush to blend this out, and I'm just doing a very quick sloppy blend all throughout my crease. And then I'm going to take the Nikki LaRose N13 from BK Beauty and go into the middle shade, which is a little bit deeper, and it has a little bit of shimmer in it. And just keep that mainly out here in the outer V. I like to just kind of place the product down and then blend once most of the product is placed on the lid. But I'm trying to keep it mostly out here, just to give some lift, some depth to the look. And we'll use an eyeliner to also get lift. All right, now I'm going back to the 212, and I'm going to use this matte shade here that's very close to my skin tone, and I always use a shade like that under the brow bone. And then just with whatever product's left, I bring it down and just softly blend the edges of those first 2 shades and kind of mute them a little bit because I didn't want it to be overly warm and I didn't want it to be too dramatic. I want this to be very soft. I think I'll go ahead and start on liner now, and I do not have an e.l.f. or Hailey's Beauty eyeliner, so I'm going to just use the Sephora Collection 12-hour retractable liner in matte brown to tightline, and then I'll use the brown shade from that palette to do a little bit of smudging. So I'll do this really quickly and then we'll come back. I think that is good enough for now. I'm going to go into this liquid e.l.f. eyeshadow first and just add a very little bit, almost as like a primer as well. I want something a little bit tacky or wet down on my lid to put these on top of, so I thought this would be perfect. So a liquid shimmer eyeshadow, just right there. The Champagne Showers on the Morphe A29. It's like a flat shader brush. Pack it into the brush and place it right on top of that shade. All right, now let's use my finger. The glitter in these is super micro fine, so you're not going to get like super reflective sparkle. It's going to be very, very fine sparkle, which is okay. It's not my favorite, but it'll be a pretty look, don't get me wrong. Now I'm going to go into White Hot, and I'm going to use that same brush, just different side. I'm going to pack some of this on, and that's what White Hot looks like in the pan. We're going to place this all over the inner corner. Just to show you guys, this is even just from that Desique palette, and see how reflective that is. I'm going to add a little bit of this right in the center, because that's where you want the reflection. You want it to be right on the center of your eye. And those Finest Flecks, they just don't give a lot of reflection. So just add in a little bit of that. Let's see. It's super pretty, don't get me wrong. I guess it's just not as breathtaking as I thought it would be. I have glitter all over my face, and just so you all know my thoughts, it's probably pretty obvious during the application, but I'm just kind of underwhelmed with those eyeshadows, to be honest. I thought they would be much more than they are. Let's just put it that way. The Refine Soft Matte Poreless Primer from Hailey's Beauty. This is a very small amount of product, 7 grams, and it looks a lot like Benefit Professionals, maybe not as tinted. See how it's got a tint to it, and it has that slick, well, right now it's thick and kind of goopy, but when you blend it out, it has that slick texture like Benefit. This is much thicker than Benefit, I'll tell you that now. Try to get a little closer for you all to see. It's taking a while for it to actually blend in. I think it's softly blurring the borders. When you're blending it in, it almost feels like it's peeling on the skin, but it's not peeling. It's just how it has to warm up on the skin. Pretty interesting. It's definitely blurred my skin. It feels really nice. It does. So I'm going to go ahead and let that sink in a little bit longer while we do mascara. This is the Hailey's Reveal Lash Lengthening Mascara, and since I did my haul, I've actually seen a video of a creator raving about this. The wand is very small. There's literally glitter all over my face. Alright, so anyway, the wand's super tiny, so I feel like it's going to take a while to get them all coated, but we'll see what happens. Let's go. The wand reminds me of like the old Maybelline, what's it called? Like Great Lash mascara. This is what it reminds me of, just maybe longer and skinnier, but very similar. I feel like so far it's nice and like separating, but it's not given much volume or lift as of yet, but let's keep going because it doesn't add a lot of product on the wand. You have to like keep going and building. Yeah, I'm getting separation. I'm trying to like go back and forth and really coat them. It's kind of underwhelming, to be honest. I'm gonna keep trying to build it. And what I'll do is I'll use my normal mascara on the other side, my Fenty, so you all can see if you notice a difference, like I do. I bet it would be good for the lower lashes because it's separating, and I would say maybe a little lengthening. Let me get close for you. That's the reveal from Haley's Beauty. Let's do the other eye with my Fenty. I curled my lashes before I started filming. I have not recurled them. And this tube of Fenty mascara is actually almost empty. So just keep that in mind as well. Fenty will get a little clumpy if you're not careful. But I'm just going to do 2 coats and show you the difference. I mean, look at that. It's a pretty big difference. Now for the fun part. The foundation. I have the Reset Flawless Matte Foundation, and I picked up the shade 2.5, which I think is a light medium with warm undertones or something like that, which was dumb because their stuff pulls very, very warm. So I'm going to shake it really well, and then I have my blue and my white mixing pigments because I'll probably need them. I don't know what I was thinking picking these shades because I've purchased Haley's Beauty in the past, and I've always felt that their stuff pulls very warm. All right, here is the shade. It may work, but I'm afraid of it oxidizing. Let's do just a tiny swatch. It's thick. It might match. I'm going to use the Rose & Ben C42 brush, and we're just going to go for it. And then if I need to add in a mixing pigment, I will. But that seemed promising there, so let's just see what happens when I blend it. I am a little scared that it's going to be too matte. It looks a little dry. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be crazy and adventurous. I'm going to add in a little bit of my Halo Glow liquid filter from e.l.f. And I have it in the shade 3. I feel like this foundation needs thinned out a little bit. Let's blend. I think the shade's going to be just fine. I was really worried about it, but I think it'll be just fine. I haven't used hardly any of this. Let's just hope that it looks as good up close as it's looking right now as I blend it on camera. Because it doesn't look too bad. The Stands Out sponge now. Grab whatever, not all of it, but just grab some more product and just blend it in. Press it into the skin. I would say it's given good medium, almost full coverage. I would say the glow filter from e.l.f. really helped the formula because it's very thick, and the swatch that I did made, like, I could tell it was going to be very drying. I could tell it was trying to dry down and cling, And, you know, that could be the primer too. So I don't want to just put all that on the foundation. But just based off the touch and the feel of the foundation, I would say it's very, very thick and dry. Moving on, we're going to do some e.l.f. products. Starting with the contour and bronzer. I've got the shade Light and Light Medium. These are the new e.l.f. Camo Bronzer and Contours. It says high pigment, and I think I'll use the shade Light Medium first and see what that looks like blended out. And then if I need to add in light, I can. That's what the packaging looks like. It's just like their blushes. Their camo blushes. All right, let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna go for about that much right now. I'm gonna use my Makeup by Mario F4 brush to blend. Yeah, we probably should have done the dot method. It says high pigment right on there, so I don't know what made me think to do that much, but here we are, hoping for the best. It's a nice shade. It's cool toned and still adds a little bit of warmth. I like it. Add a little more over here, just another little dot. Yeah. Let's stick to the dot method. I might have to do some cleanup with the sponge here in a minute. Yeah, that's helping a lot. It's looking good. I mean, it's radiant, don't get me wrong, but it's looking good. I got their new Weightless Long Wear Concealer. It's called the Revive, and I bought it in the shade Light Neutral, but it looks very, very warm. So I thought what I'll do is I'll add a little bit of this, just a very small amount. Like, very small. Just to use as like a color corrector. Just like that. Now I want to blend it in first with my finger and feel it. Just to give an idea of what it feels like. It's very thin. Like I barely feel it. But I thought that would be good to cancel out the blue and purple under my eyes. And it's doing a good job at that. It did a really nice job. Okay, I like that. And then I do have their original Rewind Blurring Full Coverage Concealer. And I have it in light neutral and fair light neutral. So this one is light neutral. And it's very similar to what I just used. And then fair light neutral. And they had this cooling applicator. Here's fair light neutral and light neutral. Let me swatch it out for you so you can see the difference. I might mix the two. Let's do that. I'm just going to put it in the palm of my hand. I'm not worried about the cooling applicator today. I've just mixed it with the brush. And I'm going to take some and place it under my eye. See that on the back of my hand here. I'm going to take my Delium Tools Golden Triangle concealer brush, whatever it's called. And I'm going to pack some of the product into the brush. Take a little down my nose. Between my brows. Now most of the product is distributed, I will go ahead and further blend, but I didn't want to put too much under my eyes because that can cause issues. I've used this concealer several times in the past, the original, not the corrector one, not the new Revive. I've used the Rewind blurring concealer several times in the past, and it's beautiful. I love it. You can go overboard with it easily, so you have to be careful. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I got the concealer spread out all over my face. And you all saw I just picked it up from my hand and added a tiny bit with my finger. I did not add too much product, and it goes a long way. Long way. I used it all over my forehead, down my nose, and still had plenty. And there's probably still a lot in the brush. I'm going to take my Real Techniques Miracle Concealer Sponge and just press this in all over. Let's go ahead and get this Copper Etiquette blush open. And again, these are pigmented, so what I'll do with the blush is I will be smart and put it on my hand first, then put it onto my face. 2 dots of it on my hand here. I'm going to pick it up on this same brush because I love this for blush. Oh my god. Beautiful. You guys, I still have that whole other dot. Oh, let's see. I'm going to just pack it into my brush here. Pretty. I definitely would suggest using these under powder if you have oily skin or texture because they are radiant. So you would want to set them. I'm going to use the Stands Out sponge really quick to blend that through here. Just make sure it's getting pressed in everywhere. I'm going to take my sponge and blend out any creases before we set. And I have the Haley's Retouch Soft Focus Setting Powder, but I accidentally bought it in the shade Translucent Honey off of Amazon. So let's see what that looks like. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this to set my under eyes. So I grabbed out the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder to use if I need to. Alright, I poured out some of the Translucent Honey in the cap to show you. It's got a yellow tone to it, and I'm a little afraid of it to use for the under eyes. So I will use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder just for the under eyes. And it's also got a yellow tone to it, but I've used it before and I feel more confident setting with that. Alright, let's set. Looks good and smooth. I like it. So that is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. Looks really good. It's a really nice powder. Let's go ahead and get this Haley's powder and set my face while we're at it. Got it in the puff. Let's watch the magic happen. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't use that on my under eyes because it definitely has a warm tone to it. It's nice and it's setting just fine, but I think it would be a little too dark for my under eyes. So I'm very glad that I did that. I'm going to take this IT Cosmetics powder brush and grab whatever product is left in the cap and then just lightly tap over right here because I don't want to disturb the contour or blush. I just want to lightly Set it down. Diffuse those pores a little bit. All right, now we can use the Haley's Beauty contour powder that I love. And I do have this Haley's Beauty bronzer brush, but I think I'm going to use this for blush. I don't know. I can use it for both. Why not? Let's try it. This is again in the shade medium. It's like my favorite. It's called Resculpt Bronzing Powder. I usually use my F14 from Shop Miss A to apply it. But this is working just fine. It's just very, very smoothing. The shade works perfect for me. I think once this brush gets some more use, it'll be even better. Very pretty. Now I get to use their powder blush, which I'm really excited about. It's called Repop Smoothing Blush Powder. So if it's the same formula as the bronzer, we're going to be good as gold here. I'm going to grab that same brush, and it looks... I just pressed in one time, and it looked like it picked up quite a bit. What's this shade again? It's called Love Bite. So pretty. I like that. We'll go ahead and do lips. I use the e.l.f. Michaela lip liner in the shade Till Death Do Us Part. Now I'm going to use her lipstick in the shade Pucker Up. And then I also have this e.l.f. lip gloss that I haven't used in a while. It's the Lip Plumping Gloss in Mint Melt. And it has a little bit of iridescent sparkle to it. And I want to try it. It smells like mint chocolate chip. And it does have a plumping sensation. I can feel a little tingle. Just a little bit. It's pretty. All right. I like that. It is a little sticky, just so you know. All right. What I'll do is I will go ahead and do a little bit of this e.l.f. Camo powder foundation. I have in the shade Light 280N. I'm going to use a little bit of this on this It powder brush just to smooth out my skin a little bit right through here and kind of blend everything together like I would a finishing powder. All right, just a couple more things to do here. I've got the Refresh Ultimate Priming and Setting Spray again from Haley's. I'll spray a little bit more of this. The mister is fabulous. And just because I'm a little bit extra and I want to make sure this lasts most of the day, because I do have plans, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist just because I know this product and I know it works. It also has a very fine mist on it. And I want to make sure my makeup lasts all day long. I'm going to use the Haley's on the lower lashes and see what happens. This is normally always my Lancome. But since we're trying out new products, I'll go ahead and do this. As I suspected, it is good for the lower lashes. The wand is really good, and it just lightly coats them, so you don't have to worry about too much product or any transfer. But so far, so good. I think it looks really, really nice. I'd say my skin is a little bit more radiant than normal. All right, it is almost 2 o'clock, so I've had this makeup on for almost 4 hours. I had to do the math. Anyway, I've had this makeup on for almost 4 hours now. I went ahead and reapplied some of that mint gloss that I actually really enjoy. It feels really good and it looks really pretty. This lip combo is everything to me. 4 hours in, I'm looking a little shiny, but I figured I would be using the e.l.f. Halo Glow. It always does this to me, but it looks nice. Like, I look healthy, I look glowy. I'm not going to touch it up yet. I'll probably touch it up a little later. I've already got dinner cooking, and then after the kids get home and my husband gets home, we're going to go out and have dinner with my father-in-law, and I will do a check-in when I get out there so you all can see what it looks like, and I'll probably have to touch up at that point. I wanted to show you what it's looking like 4 hours in. I'll see you in a few hours for the next check-in. This is somewhere between the 8 and 9 hour mark. My family was enjoying dinner in the dining room, so I had to come to this hallway where I could get some decent lighting to show you what it was looking like. Definitely a little bit more shiny than normal. I do prefer my skin to look a little bit more matte. This is before I blotted, and I do take the Fenty Invisimatte powder with me just about everywhere I go to control my shine throughout the day. But overall, I think everything looked pretty decent. I'm going to put some of the standout products on screen for you guys. That way, if you are interested in purchasing anything, you know where to find it. I love testing out more affordable products and sharing my thoughts with you guys. I will see you soon in the next video. Bye for now.